हर पल करूं मैं तेरा ध्यान साईं, तेरा ध्यान साईं, तेरा ध्यान साईं।
Jai Sai Ram. We will now continue with chapter 29 of the Sai Satcharitra. The story is called The Tendulkar Family. The Tendulkar family lived in Bandra, a suburb of Bombay. The entire family was devoted to Baba. Mrs. Savitribai Tendulkar wrote and published a Marathi book named Shri Sainath Bhajan Mala, which describes the Leelas of Baba. It is a book worth reading by those who are interested in Baba. The son, Babu Tendulkar, was studying hard day and night and wanted to appear for the medical entrance examination. He consulted a few astrologers in this regard. Upon examining his horoscope, they told him that the stars were not favorable this year and that he should appear for the exam next year, when he would certainly be successful. This cast gloom over him and made him anxious and restless. A few days after this, his mother went to Shirdi and met Baba. Among other things, she mentioned the gloomy and morose condition of her son, who was to appear for the examination in a few days. Hearing this, Baba said to her, "Tell your son to believe in me. Throw aside horoscopes and predictions of astrologers and palmists and go on with his studies. Let him appear for the exam with a calm mind. He is sure to pass this year. Ask him to trust in me and not get disappointed." The mother returned home and communicated Baba's message to her son. Then he studied hard and in due course appeared for the exam. In the written papers he did well, but being overwhelmed by doubt, he thought that he would not secure enough marks to pass, so he did not bother to appear for the verbal exam. But the examiner was persistent. He sent word through a fellow student stating that he had passed in the written examination and that he should appear for the verbal part. The son, thus encouraged, appeared for the verbal exam and was successful in both. Thus he got through the exam successfully that year by Baba's grace, even though the stars were supposedly aligned against him. It is to be noted here that doubts and difficulties surround us just to move us and confirm our faith. Difficulties test our faith. It is only if we steadily hold on to Baba with full faith and continue our endeavors that our efforts will ultimately be crowned with success. The father of this boy, Raghunath Rao, was working in a foreign mercantile firm in Bombay. As he grew old, he was unable to attend his work properly, and so he had to take leave and rest. As he did not improve during the leave, a further extension or retirement from service was inevitable. The manager of the firm decided to retire him on a pension as he was old and unreliable. The manager was considering the amount of pension to be paid. He was making 150 rupees a month, and his pension, half the amount, 75 rupees, would not have been enough to meet the expenses of the family. So they were all anxious about this matter. 15 days before the final settlement, Baba appeared in Mrs. Tendulkar's dreams and said, "I wish that 100 rupees be paid as pension. Will this satisfy you?" She replied, "Baba, why ask me this? We fully trust in you." Though Baba said 100 rupees, he was given 10 rupees more, 110 rupees, as a special case. Such was Baba's wonderful love and concern for his devotees. In the case of Babu Tendulkar, we see that Baba or Sadguru have powers to rewrite our destiny. This is what the scriptures say. But it is also important to note how, at one point, Babu Tendulkar became discouraged and didn't even want to appear for the exam, thinking that he is sure to fail. So, what is the point? But Baba's grace was such that he forced and coerced Babu to come give the verbal exam. Otherwise, he would have missed out on his blessing, perhaps. So, this is the power of doubt, of second guessing, third guessing, and overthinking. It is very common in today's time because there is so much negativity, hostility. At the end of the day, they are not going to be with us when we go for an exam or when our rent is due or any problem happens or any disease happens or any important event in our life comes. we have to look for courage within us and hold on to divinity. This is a love story between you and your guru, and it will surely have a happy ending if we don't waver and invite third parties into the mix. It is also important to note that Baba didn't give something to Babu Tendulkar and his father willy nilly. They did their karma. Babu Tendulkar studied hard for the exam, and his father worked diligently, assuming that he worked diligently in his company till the age of retirement and illness. So let's not become complacent. Let's not take grace or God for granted. We have to do our karma, we have to put in our best efforts, and then leave the rest to God and see how He plays things out. So let's not take this as some kind of invitation to be lazy, to cop out, or be complacent. That is not what this is saying at all. Let us continue with stories of Captain Hate. Captain Hate, a resident of Bikaner, was a great devotee of Baba. Once Baba appeared to him in his dreams and said, "Have you forgotten me?" Hate then immediately held Baba's feet and replied, "If a child forgets his mother, how could it be saved?" Then Hate went into the garden, plucked fresh wal papadi vegetables, and after arranging for Shiddha, which is ghee, wheat flour, and dal, etc., and dakshina, he was about to offer all of it to Baba. Suddenly he was awakened and came to realize that the whole thing was a dream. Then he decided to send all these things to Baba at Shirdi. When he went to Gwalior a few days later, he sent 12 rupees by money order to a friend, with instructions that 2 rupees should be spent in buying Shiddha and Wal Papdi vegetables, and those should be offered to Baba with 10 rupees as dakshina. The friend went to Shirdi and purchased all the things mentioned, but Wal Papdi vegetables were not easily available. However, a woman suddenly turned up with a basket on her head, which curiously enough contained the vegetables. They were purchased, and then all these things were offered to Baba on behalf of Captain Hate. Mr. Nimonkar prepared the Naivedya the next day and offered it to Baba. Everyone was surprised to see that Baba only ate the wal papdi vegetables and did not eat the rice and other things on his plate. Hate's joy knew no bounds when his friend told him about this. In the previous story, we saw how Baba chose a Nimit, the invigilator, the examiner, to get Babu Tendulkar out of his discouragement and come give the exam. And in this case, Baba sent a village lady who had the exact vegetables that were needed to make the wal papdi and were not being found easily. If you recall, in a previous story, there is another case where a devotee wanted to give Baba guavas but could not find any. And in a similar fashion, a woman vegetable seller showed up out of nowhere and not just sold the right amount of guavas needed, but also gave the whole basket to be given to Baba. So we are not in this alone. When our intentions are pure, our actions are pure and loving, Baba, the divine, the Guru, the God, arranges all sorts of little helpers, assistants, obstacle removers in our path, and we just have to keep walking it. On that note, we will conclude this video and come back with the next two stories in the next video. Jai Sai Ram.
हर पल करूं मैं तेरा ध्यान साईं, तेरा ध्यान साईं, तेरा ध्यान साईं। दो स्वास्थ्य ऐसा करूं ध्यान साईं, तेरा ध्यान साईं, तेरा ध्यान साईं। हर पल करूं मैं तेरा ध्यान साईं, तेरा ध्यान साईं, तेरा ध्यान साईं।